Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lauren. I am from Lane End Group. I'm with my colleagues today, Mick Cunningham, Construction Director, and my colleague Laura Perry as well, who works in my team. So the aim of today's meeting is just to kind of go through with you our development on Build Street, give you an overview of what's happening over there, who the team is, and give us a chance to answer your questions, which you have so kindly submitted beforehand. So we've got all of the answers for you, and we will be going through those towards the end. If you've got any questions, we just ask that you pop them in the chat box throughout the meeting, and we'll come to at the end of the call. This will also be recorded as well. It will be put onto YouTube and our social media channels so that it can be rewatched by people that couldn't make it today, and also to get people's questions answered as well. So I will get started. So we are building on Build Street in Llandudno, and that is being built on behalf of ClywdAlyn. We are the contractors on there, so we are Lane End Group, and we are a northwest based contractor in England, and we are building on behalf of ClywdAlyn. So I'll just show you where the site is now, so you're aware of where it is. It just sits just behind the train station on Builder Street. So just that little red line there, that is where we are building, and you will see our contractors working away. I'll introduce our team now. So we've got Mick. Mick, would you mind just this is Mick Cunningham. He's our construction director and looks after the construction team. We've got Tom Judge on the call. Tom, if you wouldn't mind just giving a little wave.
Hi.
Thank you. Tom is our site manager. He'll be based on site predominantly. You've got myself, Lauren Banner, my colleague Laura Perry, who work in the social value team. So you'll see us out and about in the community. We've also got John Jones. John, would you mind giving us a wave from ClywdAlyn? Thanks, John. He's the development project manager at ClywdAlyn that we're working alongside us. We've got Annie Jackson as well, who is the community engagement specialist at ClywdAlyn. We'll get Annie to give a hand up later on when she comes on the screen. And then we've also got Lisa Jones, who's the housing link officer at ClywdAlyn. Hi, Lisa. Thanks for popping your hand up there. So we'll just give you a little bit of an update on what's going on site at the moment and where we're up to with construction. So we've got a few notes on the screen there. Tom or Mick, would you mind going through that for me?
Okay, on.
Okay. Yeah, so we've had the full archaeological survey completed now. We're continuing with ground testing, so we've got some more testing going on next week. And we've got ground workers at the moment setting up roads, getting things ready for us so that as soon as we can, we will start building. Hopefully 6 weeks time, we'll start the piling and we should be able to carry on from there, then getting the development completed.
Great, thank you, Tom. And there's a few pictures there as well, just to show you where the site is at the moment. So as you can see, it reflects just exactly what Tom has mentioned there. Just move on swiftly to our community update. So I mentioned earlier, myself and Laura and also the development team and community engagement officers at ClywdAlyn will be working proactively within the community. Social value is a huge part of what we do and within our partnerships, such as with ClywdAlyn. And it's important to us to give back to the communities in which we build. So social value is mainly based around ensuring that we've got local labour and apprentices working on our sites and giving back to people within the community and ensuring it's a live learning experience whilst we're building there, as well as getting involved in various different community projects. So Laura's going to give you a little bit more of an overview over that now and what we've always been doing in the area.
Well, thanks, Lauren. So yeah, as Lauren explained, at Lane End Group, we're so passionate about giving back to the communities in which we build, and we always kind of have this ethos that we are building, you know, these amazing new homes, but we also want to support the communities around the sites. So I'm going to go through a few notes of kind of what we aim to do while we're building the project, as well as some stuff we have already been up to while in the area. So in Llandudno already, or what we will propose to do, sorry, so we want to create local job opportunities. So we're really big on kind of giving those opportunities available within the local community wherever we can, and having that really local feel to site with that real local labour kind of coming through and providing those opportunities. We also pledge to employ apprentices for our supply chain. That's another big area that we're very passionate about, supporting kind of young, new and emerging talent in the area. And we're really keen to get those involved on site wherever we can. We also look to provide work experience placements while we're building on site. We think there's kind of no better opportunity to kind of really get that feel than there is for when you're on a live building site. You can see kind of the different stages of the project, and perhaps those who are already on a construction college course can kind of come spend a week with us and really put some of the skills they've learned in the classroom to test on site. Again, it's that kind of full experience of that kind of construction real life world. Then aside from this, we also look to utilise as many local suppliers as we can. Again, that's putting money back into the local community, supporting those local businesses and really having that local feel. As well as this, we also really enjoy kind of engaging with our local schools and colleges. We're big advocates for careers in construction. We're very passionate about letting everyone know that it's not just your kind of typical construction jobs. There is a lot more jobs within the construction industry, and myself and Lauren and all the team are very big advocates for really showing what is out there in the construction industry, but also kind of giving that general careers advice. And we've all been through the process ourselves. We all know what we might have changed for us. So we'd like to do that for the next generation and be there to kind of support them and guide them as they go through their journeys. And as well, we really enjoy engaging with local not-for-profits and a range of different charities and organisations, community groups. We know there's kind of variety of those already based within the Llandudno area, so we'd like to tap in and utilise and support them wherever we can. And having said that, we have already made a start while being on site. So we've completed a beach clean along the Llandudno waterfront already, as you can see in that top picture. Our team went down there and really cleared the beach, just kind of give it that environmental stance and putting our stamp on the community. And then just recently, Lane End New Beginnings made a £2,000 donation to Conway Food Bank. I'm not sure if anyone on the call seen, but unfortunately they had a very urgent appeal and they found themselves with limited supplies and a lot more people kind of requiring their service. So we stepped in and made that £2,000 donation, and that picture there is when we visited just a while ago. So we're really interested in kind of getting to know what's already going on in the community, how we can support. So if there is any ways that you'd like us to support, I mean, please feel free to get in touch and we'll see if we're able to fulfil that request.
Thank you so much, Laura. As you can see, I feel like the local theme really came through there. We have got local team members that are on site already. So Tom is actually local to the site, Tom Judge. He's worked with Lane End for some time, so it's a site that he's really looking forward to working on. And we've also got Lee Ellis, a senior site manager that's starting shortly, and Ben, is that Cobley? Ben Cobley as well, who'll be starting in September. So, and he lives in Conway. So they're really local people that are looking forward to getting on site. Not too long of a commute now for them, and just getting involved in the community with us. And that's fed through each and every team member that we've got at Lane End. So that's a little bit from us about Lane End, what we're about, really working within the community in partnership with ClywdAlyn. So I'll now pass you over to them to give their overview and update and what they're up to in the area as well, and how we're working in partnership whilst we're building the area. So I'll hand over to John and the team now.
Hello everyone, thanks for coming today. First of all, we haven't actually got Annie here today, the community engagement specialist. We've got Emma from PR and Lisa, our tenancy link officer. Isn't it tenancy link officer? Housing link, sorry, yeah. Okay, yeah. So at ClywdAlyn, following on from your social value input, our mission together is to beat poverty, quite clearly there. And we want everyone in North Wales to have access to excellent quality housing, and we work with partners to address the causes and impacts of poverty, in turn helping to enrich our communities by giving support where it's needed, whether that's helping people to get back into work, combating social isolation, supporting residents who feel poverty, or supporting access to nutritious food. We live by our values of hope, trust and kindness. We've got 4 core values there: food poverty, fuel poverty, digital inclusion, and helping people with employment, training, education and volunteering opportunities. And we've got close links with Creating Enterprise, which is actually next door to the site, so we're quite keen for people to take opportunities that are there to, I think there's a course which is running in a couple of weeks' time, just 3 days a week, so they can get CSCS accreditation, so that'd be quite good. Okay, yeah. Go to the next slide.
Sorry, John.
Okay. So at the moment with ClywdAlyn, our developments, we've got quite a large programme going on, probably the biggest in North Wales with house associations. So we've got 6,500, I think it's more than 6,500 homes at the moment. We plan to complete 740 this year, and then 416 next year, and then 600 planned for the year after that. And there may well be more coming through than that, those sort of numbers. So we're really ambitious at the moment in ClywdAlyn. Work starting, as Tom pointed out, in 6 weeks' time. So that's really good. Quite keen for that to happen. The piling works, I believe, starting first, aren't they, on the apartments and moving down the site. It'll be phased. We're just going to agree how it's going to be phased, but it's looking like the apartments will be phased first, and some of the houses, and then moving down the site with the rest of the houses following on till completion. It'll be completed late summer 2024, so it's a 24-25 month program sort of thing. You can see the makeup of the development there, how many apartments we've got. There is a split on the apartments, which is over 55s on the Oxford Road side, and then general needs on the other side. And it will sort of be worked to be split there so that the over 55s could go through into the general needs, but the general needs can't go through to the over 55s potentially. So we want to make sure that people feel safe in the community there. And there's quite a few different styles of houses as well, not just all the same. I think there's about eight different styles of houses. We're going through them yesterday. All our homes, to secure Welsh Government funding, have to be lifetime homes to meet WDQR and DQR. They're all environmentally friendly, high EPC rating. Communal areas are going to be some sort of impromptu play areas outside, and we've got a large green space. We've actually removed some houses from the development to create a nice large green space there. And there is some potential for some sort of communal planting areas, but we're going to agree that there's some charities we're consulting with to look at funding for that, and to help alleviate some of the trees that we've removed from there, because there were lower level sort of trees, sycamore and that sort of thing. There was no value to the trees that were there, more weeds than anything. We're going to put back fruit trees in every front garden, so that'd be quite good for the area, I think. Make it feel a bit more rural rather than middle of the town. Okay. Like to add anything, Lisa? We've had one question about how people can apply to the to live at the properties, and it will be SART, which is single access route to housing. So there is some information there how can you apply there. Okay. There is a large waiting list, I do believe, with Conway, so I'm not quite sure how it will work, but obviously it's on a needs basis. So, you know, if you've got the need and you feel like it, please apply. All right.
Yeah, thanks so much for that, John. That was really useful. As you mentioned, yeah, there's been a few questions that have come through regarding how people can apply for these homes. We will share, everybody that's on this meeting today will share their details after the meeting on an overview to everybody that's attended and registered interest, so that you've got everybody's contact details, the website links that I mentioned there, and all of that information on the slides that you can get hold of, so that you can contact to ask any further questions. So thank you so much, John and the team there. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we just go over to answering the Q&A questions that have come through?
No.
Great, no worries, thank you, thanks so much. So Laura's just going to take us now through the questions that have come through when people signed up for the event. So we'll go through that one by one. There's a few questions, and then we'll come to any questions that have been asked in the chat at the end. Thanks, Laura.
Okay, Fab. So the first question that was submitted was from Megan Jones, and that was, I live in a ClywdAlyn apartment in Llandudno at the moment, which is extra care when required. I do not require extra care. Can I still apply for one of these flats? We've got John or maybe Lisa who's able to answer that one for us.
Yeah, they can look to apply. They can look to apply just the same as anybody else, just because they're one of our tenants. Doesn't make any difference that way.
Because all our homes have to meet Welsh Housing Quality Standards, WHQ. QS. They've all got level access showers on the ground floor. The general needs flats, they'll have baths, but all the houses have showers on the ground floor, and all the over 55s apartments will have showers. So if that's the sort of need that you require, that would meet that. And then obviously all the houses have got to have through-floor lift future option with a cutout in the floors. And I'd say that the level access showers and all the houses are level access for an entry.
Okay. Brilliant. Thanks, John. So the next question came in from Sheila Gray, and Sheila asked, what undertakings have you made for schools, GP, water, waste, drainage and parking? And Sheila also asked, what has your research revealed about the impact of houses you are making, global warming and housing? So just to break down Sheila's question into individual sections there. So schools and GPs are the responsibility of Conway County Borough Council, and that wouldn't be something that the Lane End Group and ClywdAlyn could comment on. I'm sure if you raise the question with the local council, they would be able to support you with that one. In terms of water, so on site we are currently utilising existing water supplies. Water has been used in site setup and also in dust suppression with as limited waste as possible. And we are currently looking into getting a rainwater harvest system set up on site to reuse that rainwater for like a boot wash on site. In terms of waste, so as across all Lane End sites, we have a designated waste management plan, which is working with our waste management partners to ensure as much waste as possible is diverted from landfill. And as an organisation as a whole, we have a target of at least 95% of waste is recycled or reused, and again, diverted from landfill. In terms of drainage, we have an enhanced drainage. We had enhanced drainage investigation works kind of carried out prior to us starting on site. And our drainage plan has been coherent and designed with that plan in mind. So we're kind of on with that, and we're making sure that everything in the report is found out. In terms of parking, we currently have on-site parking available for all subcontractors, and all subcontractors are reminded to park considerably for our neighbours. So we do have that provision on site, and we hope that doesn't cause too many problems for those living locally within the area. And then going on to the question regarding kind of the impact of our houses and global warming. So we ensure that all of our projects are compliant with all current building regulations, including those environmental and sustainability regulations. So ahead of us beginning on site, we commission a number of reports and surveys, including heritage, ecological and noise and vibration. So we make sure all the necessary steps are taken before we even start on site. And again, we're kind of monitoring our progress while we're there. And again, kind of diverting from landfill all adds up, and to minimise our impact essentially on the environment while we are building on site. So I hope that's answered your question for you there, Sheila. Our next question came in from Mandy Jones, and Mandy asked, how do I register from a home? So I think the guys have already kind of been through that with ClywdAlyn. There was that slide before with all that helpful information on, and we will share that with you following the call, as Lauren said, just so you've got all that information on one place of how you can apply for one of the new homes. The next question came from Jodie Davis asking, will there be regular community updates? Yes, there will be. So at the Lane End Group, all of our projects have a project page within our website, and we treat this as kind of a virtual community board. So we make sure this is updated frequently with any kind of key information, anything we've been up to in the community, any site news you may need to be aware of, any possible disruptions. And it's a live website, so as soon as something's ready to go on, we can upload it for you and it's there to access. If you do live locally to site, myself and Lauren came just a couple of weeks ago now to deliver these postcards to your door along with an accompanying site start letter. So everyone living locally to site within a short distance would receive one of these, and that QR code there, should you scan it, you can go straight through to your project page where you can find all of our latest community updates. We also have a variety of kind of social media channels, which is another great way to stay up to date with things that are happening on your development and also our other developments across the North West and North Wales. And we've had another question from Chrissy Hammer. Again, how do I apply? Again, that's kind of, we've gone through that one with ClywdAlyn, so we'll get those details out to you on who the people you need to contact with. We've had another question from Councillor O'Grady. They've asked, when will the site be finished, and also is there a waiting list? So late summer 2024 is when the site will be completed. And in terms of a waiting list, I think John mentioned in his presentation there, there potentially is quite a long waiting list, but again, that's something that's dealt with kind of via the council. So they might be able to advise slightly clearer on that one. And then the final question is, when will the flats be available, please, by Gail? And that's late summer 2024.
Thanks so much, Laura. There's a lot of really great questions there, and obviously understandably concerns from the community about various things, but I'm hoping that that has given you a really good overview and answered what you needed to know. The contact details we will pass over. Please feel free to email us any questions and we will endeavour to get back to you. Either that will be through ClywdAlyn or through Lane End. We have had one question come through just on the chat whilst we were going through, so I'll just read that out now. So thank you, David, for that. David said, in terms of not-profits, Moston Gallery is just around the corner. It's a charity who do many community outreach projects and has a great cafe upstairs. Well, I'm all for one for a good cafe, so thank you for that, David. That's really great to know. We'll work with the ClywdAlyn team to see what is in the area and head down there and see what that's all about. Thank you so much, David. We'll be in touch. We probably have your email address from when you signed up to this, so thank you for that advice, and that's great to know. I think that's everything from us today. As I said, please feel free to forward any questions you've got to us and we will come back to you. The site team are based on site now in site cabins. If there are any problems that are immediate problems, we'll share those details with you of how to contact us in any sort of urgent emergency. So now you know who the site team is, you know who ClywdAlyn are, and you know who Lane End are. So this is recorded. We'll share that again on our social media channels and on our website. So I'll just go through the team here that we've got today and just make sure anybody hasn't got anything else to add. So ClywdAlyn, John and team, have you got anything else to add before we close?
Sorry, our mic was off. It was just about the community support as part of the planning application approval. We do have to make quite large contributions to the community, which goes towards whatever the council decide, but there are allocated sums on that section agreement. So that's a legal agreement, and it goes towards highways, libraries and quite a lot of other things. So there is quite a large contribution to the community there, which is based on how large the development is.
Great, thank you, John.
That's about it, really. Yeah.
No, that's great. Thank you so much for your time. That's really useful to know. I'll share your details as well with the members of the community that have joined today. Tom, is there anything else that you'd like to add before we close?
No, I'm fine, thank you.
No worries. Thanks for joining, Tom. Appreciate you. Busy man on site. So Mick, have you got anything? Are you okay?
Good, thank you.
All good. Okay then, everybody, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. We'll share everything with you that I've just said, and this will be going on our YouTube channels. So hope everybody has a great day, and we'll be in touch shortly, and vice versa. Thanks everyone. Take care.
Thanks. Bye.